Hello, I am Van.
And I'm Bondy.
And we're Catfish and the Bottlemen, and you're watching AU Review.
Welcome to Lorne.
Thank you for having us.
It is New Year's Eve and it is chilly, but it's a good way to kind of see out 2016 and bring in the new year. How are you feeling about being back?
We're loving it. We've done, this is the second night of Falls for us now.
Yep.
We started with, we flew into Perth initially and did Southbound Festival.
Of course, right.
So this is the third one of being here, and if tonight's anything like the other two, then it'll be a hell of a lot of fun. Cause
Awesome.
Last night was chaos. There was alligators flying everywhere, like those big inflatable alligators.
It's the Australian dream, really.
Right.
It's what everyone thinks of when they think of Australia.
We were just saying it's really unusual for us because, you know, it's freezing cold back at home now. We left on Christmas Day to come out here,
Yeah, right.
walk out into sunshine, like looking at beaches and playing festivals again. It's like, sure, we did this like 6 months ago.
Yeah,
We
right.
had a dead nice slot as well last night. It was just as the sun, we were going on as the sun was kind of coming down.
Yep.
And by the end of the set, it was dark and all, it just the atmosphere kind of switched, didn't it? Like kind of page turned
Yeah.
and it became a different kind of show off.
Everyone kind of, I don't know, as soon as the sun goes down, it's like the lights get switched off. Everyone is feeling a bit more comfortable and getting a bit more loose. So
It was.
that's what it was like last night anyway. I can't imagine what it's going to be tonight.
It's those big water cannons, like, because there was a security guard at the front firing water cannons, so all the crowd, they were like roasting.
Great
People on
omen for this
shoulders.
year.
Flying off 20 miles.
Yeah, well, I mean, we are stoked to have you back. It seems like the last few times we've been able to see you play or catch up with you, it's always been either in the UK or in the States.
Yeah. What's the last time we spoke with you guys at Tea in the Park? I remember that.
Tea in the Park.
I remember that. Do you remember that at Tea in the Park? I remember you kept walking past me when I was doing that interview. It was when we played was it Tea Break stage, I think it was, something like that. That was a great day.
But then again, I mean, like that's
how long ago was that?
2014.
2 years ago.
2014. So we saw you there, and then we saw you at South by last year.
That's been 2 years. That's mad.
So it's been a really kind of a hectic ride for you guys when you think about it. Like, even though we're celebrating this record, you guys have been playing all over the shop. So has it sunk in how far the music has been able to reach over the last few years?
When you say 2 years like that, then it does kind of, because we've just done the biggest shows we've done in the UK. Like we did arenas back then, got to do Wembley Arena and stuff like that, and it's only been 2 years since we were playing to that would have been a couple hundred people back then.
I mean, up until probably at the end of this run we're on right now, we haven't really had a chance to stop and kind of absorb what we've kind of covered in the last couple of years. You know, there's obviously odd standout moments, like Van mentioned, like Wembley Arena. You can feel that's like a seminal night at the time, but you know, moving around so often and like going from place to place that it's hard to actually take things in.
Yeah.
A bit premature with the countdown.
I was going to say, I'm like,
we missed something.
I'm like, have we got like a few more hours left to go or something?
But I think like Bondy was saying as well, like we're always thinking about the next thing. So even when as soon as you walk off stage, you think straight about the next gig, you know, and where we're going next, and we kind of know the plan for next year already, and even to the year after that, we know what we want to do with that. So
it kind of feels like a bit of a blessing and a curse being like that. I think we're all of that same mindset, and like, I think it keeps you ambitious, but it's like your mind is way ahead of where you are.
Totally.
It keeps you chomping at the bit, you know.
Well, it's interesting. Like when if you were to break down a year into, say, you know, you'd come to Australia for the summer festivals, then you'd be back in Europe for that European festival run. Like if you break it down in blocks, the years just go by super quickly, right? So it's insane to think about it like that.
Do you know we've only known Ross since May?
Really?
Yeah, you just told me that before.
Sorry. See? Again, like.
But yeah, it's good like that though. It's just like you say, when we get in interviews like this, and then you say it's been 2 years, and you think, because I remember that because we did Tea in the Park this year, and from when we last did that interview, the Tea in the Park this year, that was chaos, and the year before that, and so every single year there's been good, but yeah, it just goes quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, for real.
There's a lot to go.
I mean, and again, like just being able to see how the band's been developing as a live unit, as well as the music we've been seeing put out on record, has been super impressive to see. Because again, like when you spend so much time out on the road, you know, for an outsider, you could be thinking, how the fuck do they get the time to even explore new sounds or new directions? And yet when it comes together as well as it has done for a band like yourselves, it's just like, well, shit.
Thank you. That's a very nice thing to say.
I've always said everything is entirely focused on the live side of things with us. So like when we are playing, it never feels tiresome or anything like that. It always feels fresh. And
we only make albums like quickly, and the reason we only make them is to put more songs to the set list and bring them out to play them. There's no feeling in the world like going out to Australia and hearing people singing music, or back home where you grew up, or America, or
Mad last night we were in Marion Bay, and when you look at the map, because that's like, you know, very bottom southeast Australia, and it's like, I don't think we could be further away from home right now. And to walk out and have, you know, like rows and rows of people sort of losing their heads to the music.
It's a bit crazy, isn't it?
It's pretty overwhelming when you actually do put it into perspective.
So I suppose, you know, from your perspective, what has been the biggest change, or, you know, the biggest, I suppose, development that you felt in terms of performing with each other now that you are really in a good rhythm of doing it?
Biggest change is probably Barry, our monitor guy over there, dressed like he's on a safari park.
Oh, I've got safari gear on today.
Again, we're in a forest, that could be right.
Hoodies,
we're in a forest.
Then caught my eye.
Biggest change. I think it just becomes more like seamless. Like muscle memory. You don't. The last couple of shows, we've not even been thinking about playing. Like we've just been
second nature,
talking to each other, you know, and saying, "Bondy, check this guy out on the crowd. Look, he's doing a backflip." And like, I think that for us is the amount of like we come off like a run of like 5 or 6 shows, and you'll be like, didn't even think about anything we've done there, and you don't even like kind of.
It's like finding a level of comfort on stage, which I guess just comes from doing it over and over, and at that point I don't know, when you're comfortable with it, you start honing in on like the tiny little fucking annoyances of it, all of that.
Yeah.
But it's just I think that's just been the only thing. The rhythm has just been nice.
Well, I mean, and it's one of those things, you know, when you're a music fan and you're watching your favorite artists perform, if you can tell that energy is so natural and organic, then it just makes you feel so much better about the show you're watching, you know?
Like our favorite gigs, like we go to watch every time we come away and enjoy a band, it's because like you can tell they love it. You can tell like these love playing music, and then you love watching them play music, and that's what we agree on. Is Jamie now come off stage? I'll play, mate. Go like that. And
Jamie T's just finished his set, by the way. Just having a bit of walk past.
But and I guess the change that you notice, the gigs, I guess, or always the crowds, it's getting beyond the joke, especially, you know, back in the UK now, it's beyond the joke back there. So just the idea of being able to build it all up to.
They become kind of good markers. You know, if you're having troubles remembering, be like, oh yeah, remember when we played Wembley? Oh yeah, that was pretty sick.
I think Australia is our second now. If after this run, if we come back and did another run and it got bigger than it is now, I think Australia would be like the second biggest market for us. Which sick. We've only been here. This is our second time here. Which you can't take that for granted when the other side of the world are doing that to your band.
Definitely. And we felt that. I mean, I was talking with the crew from Halos earlier today, and it's just like, if you were to perform in America, like even as an Australian going over there, you can feel those moments of complete isolation.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine it could be the same for you guys as well, coming out from the UK. But it just gets easier.
Yeah, I agree. This fly
it's one fly. It's one fly. It's very opinionated.
Yeah, I guess the more that you get used to somewhere, like when we first went to the US, it was kind of like, what? It's like everything you see is kind of off of film, and then the more you go, the more you kind of start recognizing places and seeing venues and stuff like that. But still the same feeling though. The excitement still is day one. You walk on stage, no matter how big or small the crowd is, I still walk on stage like I was just starting out. Like the excitement to play, it's class. Love playing live, it's ace.
That's so well. We can't wait to see what the show's going to be like out there. And
thank you.
Such a great night for a fucking live show.
What are you doing for New Year? It's got a party on.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Well, if this fly's going to join us for the party, I think. New member of Catfish at the Bottlemen, this fly. We cannot wait to see you out there on stage, and hopefully we'll see you guys back in Australia sooner rather than later.
Thank you.
No worries. Thank you so much. Cheers.